A lion does not concern himself with the opinions of sheep, not because he's cruel, but because he knows his kingdom. Ascenders, lock in. We're not here to complain. We're not here to whine. We're here to observe, decode, and move differently. Today we unpack something the mainstream will never admit: why Sigma males are pulling away from modern women. And no, this isn't about bitterness, it's about clarity. You've felt it, the disconnection, the lack of alignment, the games. And instead of wasting time in a broken system, the Sigma male opts out and builds his own reality. This is for the ones who don't chase, who don't conform, and who don't play roles they never auditioned for. If you're new here, join the ascent, hit subscribe and elevate your algorithm. We're not like the others. We see through the smoke. Let's go. 1. The algorithm mirage. Why abundance is an illusion. Modern dating is digital, fast, and flooded. At first glance, it seems like everyone has more options than ever. Swipe right, scroll down, DM sent. But beneath the surface, it's all an illusion, a manufactured sense of abundance that doesn't translate to real connection. Sigma males don't fall for the algorithm trap. They know these apps are engineered to keep people in constant cycles of dissatisfaction, always reaching, rarely connecting. The average woman on a dating app has hundreds of matches in a week. But here's the twist. 90% of those matches are instantly discarded, not because they're bad people, but because the sheer volume makes everyone disposable. This creates a brutal psychological dynamic. Why invest in something or someone when another option is just one swipe away? Real intimacy dies in a culture of infinite scrolling. Sigmas see this as emotional junk food, empty calories, no nourishment. And so they walk away, not from women, but from the machine that's distorting the entire experience. They don't swipe, they build. They meet through purpose, alignment, energy, not through an algorithm that monetizes loneliness. A Sigma doesn't chase a woman drowning in options. He gravitates toward clarity, not clutter. Second validation. Inflation, when attention becomes currency. Attention is today's drug of choice, and social media is the dealer. The modern woman is raised on likes, DMs, and followers. Not always her fault, but it creates a dangerous inflation. Too much unearned praise warps the self-image. Sigma males spot this immediately. They've learned that in many cases, modern women measure their worth by the quantity of attention they receive, not the quality of their character. And here's the paradox. When you're constantly praised, there's no hunger for growth. Why evolve when the world is already applauding you for doing nothing? This creates a loop of shallow behavior. Posting for reaction, not expression. Dating for status, not connection. Valuing admiration over understanding. Sigmas don't fit into that system. They don't compete for attention. They reject the auction altogether. They want a woman who's grounded in her own reality, not one who needs public approval to validate private worth. When validation becomes the new oxygen, many lose the ability to breathe without it. The Sigma male, by contrast, thrives in solitude. He gives from overflow, not emptiness, and he seeks the same. 3. Performance personalities, the rise of the digital mask. We're living in the TikTok generation. Personality has become performance art. Social media doesn't just influence people anymore, it programs them. Today, many women unconsciously build entire personalities around trending aesthetics. Soft girl era, hot girl summer, boss babe winter. These are not identities, they're costumes. Sigma males notice the mask immediately. They're not impressed by carefully curated spontaneity. They're not seduced by viral slogans stitched into bios. They want realness, and real has become rare. In a world where being seen matters more than being known, the Sigma opts out. He doesn't want the actress. He wants the unfiltered human beneath the edits, and in many modern women, that human has gone into hiding. This isn't hate. It's discernment. The Sigma doesn't attack the mask. He just doesn't date it. Fourth, weaponized independence. When strength becomes hostility, independence is powerful. No Sigma denies that. In fact, Sigmas respect a self-sufficient woman, but the issue isn't independence, it's the weaponization of it. Today, strength is often projected as hostility. Some modern women confuse cooperation with weakness and domination with empowerment. Sigma males won't fight for control because they never wanted it in the first place. They want balance, respect, harmony. But when "I don't need a man" turns into "I'll compete with one," Sigmas simply bow out. They don't engage in relationship warfare. They build alliances, or they build alone. When a woman sees partnership as surrender, she closes the door to connection. And Sigmas, they never knock twice. 5. Checklist. Queens, relationships turned job interviews. Dating today feels like a job interview you didn't apply for. Modern women often bring a checklist. Must be over 6 feet, must make 6 figures, must fly her out, level her up, fund her lifestyle. But here's what Sigma males quickly notice. The list rarely goes both ways. The Sigma mindset is based on value matching, not value extracting. When every conversation feels like a credit check, it's no longer a relationship. It's a transaction. What makes it worse is how normalized this has become. Online influencers push standards like their gospel. Never settle. Make him pay. Know your worth. And add tax. But the Sigma sees through this language. He knows when standards are just entitlement in disguise. He's not anti-ambition, he's anti-exploitation. He doesn't mind investing time, energy, even money, if it's mutual. But when he's reduced to a provider role with no emotional connection, he disappears. Sigmas are strategic. They ask the question few dare to ask: what are you bringing to this dynamic? And too often the answer is vague. Vibes, looks, feminine energy. That's not enough. A Sigma is building a kingdom. He doesn't want someone who's just along for the perks. He wants someone building beside him. And if the only thing a woman brings is a list of demands, he moves on without looking back. 6. Softcore alpha act. Masculinity in high heels. There's a trend in modern culture. Women embracing masculine traits to compete in love. They dominate conversations, downplay vulnerability, and view gentleness as weakness. But here's the truth. Power doesn't need to prove itself. Sigma males are inherently dominant, but they're not performative. They don't shout, flex, or posture. Their masculinity is silent, not showy. So when a woman approaches with that same hardened edge, aggressive, combative, always trying to win, the Sigma doesn't argue. He just leaves. He's not looking for a submissive pushover. He values strength in balance, not mimicry. The tragedy is this. Many women adopt this hard-shell personality to protect themselves from pain, but in doing so, they often repel the very man who could offer them something real. Sigmas aren't afraid of strength, they're repelled by inauthenticity, and when femininity is swapped for friction, connection dies. So instead of entering a wrestling match, the Sigma male exits the ring, silently, finally, and without resentment. 7. Drama as dopamine. When peace feels boring, there's a quiet addiction in modern dating: chaos. For many modern women, drama equals energy. If it's calm, they feel ignored. If it's peaceful, they call it boring. If it's predictable, they lose interest. But Sigma males, they're allergic to chaos. They've worked hard to build peace, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and they don't allow anyone to disturb that sanctuary. To them, peace is not boring, it's the reward. So when they encounter women who test boundaries just to feel alive, they walk away. They don't fall for the trap of emotional roller coasters. The "where are you?" the "you don't love me like you used to" after 2 texts unread. The silent treatments, the baiting, all these tactics are energy theft, and Sigmas guard their energy like a vault. They're not emotionally distant, they're selectively open, they're not cold, they're calm. They don't avoid love, they avoid dysfunction disguised as passion. If the emotional baseline is always shifting, the Sigma detaches, not to punish, but to preserve. He doesn't argue, he doesn't plead, he simply returns to his peace, alone if he must. 8. Lost compass. No vision, just vibes. A Sigma male walks with vision. He moves towards something, a mission, a purpose, a destination. He wakes up with intention. He's not floating, he's forging. But here's the disconnect. Many modern women move on vibes. They live reactively, not proactively. One day they want to be artists. Next week, influencers. The week after, energy healers. Sigmas don't judge the journey, but they need a woman who's walking in a direction, not just walking in circles. Because here's the key. A relationship is two trajectories joining forces. If one person is still spinning in confusion, the other will eventually slow down to match. And a Sigma male will never dim his focus to babysit someone else's identity crisis. He doesn't want a perfectly sorted partner. He wants a partner with drive, not perfection, but direction. The woman he aligns with doesn't need to know everything, but she knows who she is and where she's going. Because when you join a Sigma, you're not just dating, you're co-building. And that requires clarity, not chaos. 9. Mirror queens. Attention without awareness. We live in the age of the selfie, where everyone's looking at themselves, but very few are looking within. Modern women, constantly bombarded with filters, likes, and follower counts, often become masters of external presentation. They know how to pose, how to sound spiritual, how to write the perfect caption. But when it comes to emotional self-awareness, that's where the screen goes black. Sigma males are inward-focused by nature. They observe their thoughts, they refine their flaws, they audit their inner world. So when they come across a woman whose life is curated but never questioned, there's no connection. It's not about vanity, it's about emotional depth. A Sigma doesn't want a mirror queen, someone obsessed with how she's perceived. He wants a woman with inner stability, not just outer aesthetic. He's not impressed by surface, he's intrigued by substance. And if he sees she's more interested in being admired than being understood, he doesn't engage. Not out of cruelty, but because he knows a person who won't look inwards will never meet you at your depth. 10. Blame. Ping pong, the death of accountability. One of the fastest ways to lose a Sigma is to avoid accountability, and in today's dating landscape, responsibility is rare. Everything is someone else's fault. My ex was toxic. All men are immature. He didn't communicate. But rarely does the mirror come out. Rarely does a modern woman say, here's how I contributed. Here's what I ignored. Here's what I'm still working on. Sigma males track patterns, not pity. They listen, they ask. And when they hear the same story on repeat with no self-reflection, they check out. Because a woman who can't own her part in past dysfunctions will recreate them in the present. Sigmas aren't looking for perfection. They're looking for growth, for emotional honesty, for someone who knows her blind spots and doesn't pretend she's above correction. They're done playing blame ping-pong, where both parties just keep lobbing faults across the table. The Sigma male doesn't volley. He drops the paddle and walks out the game. 11th option. Hoarders. Loyalty as a last resort. There's a dangerous trend in today's dating scene. Many women treat commitment as plan B. Until then, they keep options open. A work husband, a DM backup, a few guy friends, just in case. This isn't security, it's emotional hoarding. Sigma males. They don't share energy. They're either fully in or not at all. When they sense a woman keeping reserves, men in her orbit who are clearly not just friends, they don't argue. They observe, then disengage. Because a Sigma understands this. If I'm not your clear first choice, I'm no choice at all. He's not insecure. He's selective. He's not threatened by male attention. He just won't tolerate a lack of emotional exclusivity. Modern dating promotes the idea that loyalty is outdated. But to a Sigma, it's sacred. He won't fight for a place in a woman's life that should have been freely given. And if she needs a backup plan, he becomes the escape plan. 12th. Anti-nurture energy. When softness disappears. Somewhere along the rise of the boss babe, nurturing energy got pushed out the door. Kindness became weakness. Softness became submission. Support became a red flag. But Sigmas remember a different dynamic. Not old-fashioned, just balanced. They don't want a servant. They don't want a trophy. They want a partner who brings calm, peace, and empathy. Modern culture celebrates hustle, grind, independence, and those are all valid traits. But when they replace nurturing completely, a vital connection dies. A Sigma male, who operates in solitude for most of his life, isn't begging for comfort. But he values a woman who brings emotional harmony, not just ambition. If every conversation is a debate, if every request is seen as control, if every moment of vulnerability is rejected with, "I don't have time for this," then the Sigma doesn't fight, he doesn't complain, he simply recenters himself away from her. He sees nurturing not as submission, but as emotional intelligence. And when it's missing, he's missing too. Ascenders, let's be clear. This isn't about blaming all modern women. This isn't about rage or revenge. This is about observation and strategy. The Sigma male is not playing defense. He's playing a different game entirely. He avoids modern women not because they're unworthy, but because too many are playing characters in a script written by chaos, clout, and cultural confusion. He's not bitter. He's not broken. He's just awake. And when a man reaches that level of clarity, he chooses peace over potential, depth over drama, and purpose over popularity. To the real ones watching this, stay sharp. Don't dilute yourself to be understood. Build your mission. Guard your energy. And remember, the woman who aligns with your path won't need convincing. She'll feel it, she'll see it, she'll choose it. Until next time, keep moving in silence, keep leading without followers, and always ascend.